not everybody is who you think they are. What's good, YouTube? My name is Darin Nakakihara, and I'm a middle school teacher from Southern California. Today, I am so excited to finally talk to my friend Taylor. We are good friends when it comes to social media, but we have never actually talked like this.
Yeah. So glad I get to finally talk with you.
You guys, you can find Taylor at Teach Me Something Good on YouTube and Instagram. And if you aren't already following her, you're missing out, man. Missing out. So today, we are going to talk to Taylor just a little bit about her social media journey and where she's been, where she's at, and where she's going. And I'm so excited to introduce her to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Blair.
Hello.
Okay, Taylor, talk to us. Tell us a little bit about yourself because, okay, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I don't really know. It was my third year teaching. I taught first grade for 2 years, and so I moved to third grade this year, and I absolutely love it. Other than that, I'm pretty outgoing, but also laid back. So outside of teaching, I kind of just hang out at home, might take some trips all up and down California, but.
Pretty outgoing, she says. Okay, so you guys comment below. Let me know what you think. After, you could pause this video, go watch just go watch her Instagram story. Come back, tell me what you think about pretty outgoing. Okay, let me see. I got both of your things up here. Okay, so where did you go to school?
I went 2 years in San Luis Obispo at Cuesta College, and then I transferred over to US or CSU Channel Islands for the following.
Nice. Funny story. My wife, that's one of her stores, the Cuesta College bookstores.
Really?
Yeah, she works for Barnes & Noble, and she manages college bookstores, and she's a regional manager. That's one of her stores that she just took over, though. You probably weren't there then.
It was a while ago, 2011, 2012.
Okay, I'm gonna dig deep today, Taylor.
Go for it.
One of your Instagram posts, you got pretty deep on me.
I got deep.
Wow. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I think so. The recent one, kind of about New Year's.
Yeah, when you're oh, there it is. When you're reading the book, you're laying down, you're reading the book.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that, because that was good. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, pretty much I realized it was a new year, and so I was new year, cool, reflecting on this past year, and then I was wait, it's a new decade, and so where was I 10 years ago? And to me it was crazy because 10 years ago I was in Bakersfield where I'm at now. But it was I want out of here. I never want to come back. I want to completely change my life and not look back.
Is that where you grew up?
Yes. So born and raised here through high school and stuff. Yeah. And so it's pretty small town, and where we live, it's a little more countryside, not big city. I'm not a big city person, so that's not really what I want in the first place. But for me, it was really hard to look back and think wow, I'm exactly where I said 10 years ago that I didn't want to be, but it's but I'm so happy. I just never thought that going away and coming back, I would feel this, this is where I'm still supposed to be and happy with things, but reflecting on everything that's happened in between and how, even though I'm in the same place, everything's different. And so taking the time to reflect on everything that's happened was just really all the negative stuff jumped out first. Remembering all just friends lost, sad times, finding myself. And I was just I feel so upset about this right now. I should be so stoked on this new year and new decade and like closing that door. But it took a whole process of like reflecting and actually piecing together like, this sucked, but this was really awesome. And this only happened because of that. And so then that was like my way of like, oh yeah, like full circle, everything comes together. And it's like knowing that, but I had to go through the whole process to end up okay.
So awesome. Yeah, you guys, if you don't follow Taylor on Instagram, this is the post right here. Go check it out. Go read it. So open, and I loved it. That was a great post.
Thank you.
People are reading these things, Taylor.
I know, and that's why I think for me, I forget that. I always think like, oh, no one's gonna read the caption, or like maybe like my close friends or like 5 people will. But like then I'm like, okay, and because my thing is always just like, I don't mind putting everything out there if it can help at least one person.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it's like, I always felt like all these like, whenever anything bad kind of happened, it's like, well, I think that happened so I can grow and I can go help someone else who's going through the same thing. So I'm like, well, this is the perfect time. Like, this is what that is. So.
Yeah. What kind of response have you gotten from?
I got one response from like a childhood friend. We literally were in like 1st grade together, I think, and like split ways and all that. And she actually messaged me and is like, I think we have a lot more in common than we think. And like, I would love to hang out. So we're actually grabbing lunch today.
Wow. So cool.
So for me, it's like, I feel like with social media and stuff, and I always do really good at putting on this, like, everything's wonderful, nothing goes wrong, like living the dream. And that's actually really hard for people to relate to, because everyone has little things that go wrong. So I feel like it's kind of like, hey, I'm a real person that the world has flipped upside down and around and all this stuff too. Like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've gotten a lot of good responses, and even just like DMs about like, oh, like this, I kind of had this similar thing too, and like whatnot. So I like the relatability with it.
Me too. That's really what drew me to your channel, and you know, I watch you every day on my story. You could tell a phony a mile away, you guys. And let me tell you, you know, I'm pretty connected in this whole TeacherTuber, you know, social media world, and not everybody is who you think they are. I will not mention any names, but okay. So what made you want to start a channel?
So really, I was having a hard time my 2nd year teaching. I was kind of just like not excited about teaching. Like, I had a kind of rough class, and I think it's just like 1st graders weren't kind of my thing. It's a lot of disciplining and like just teaching procedures over and over and over and over, and that's just not my thing. I want to actually like teach things. And so for me, it was kind of a way to make teaching exciting, to reignite like that kind of fire, and just talk and like help people. And I was like, you know what, my 1st year I had an incredibly difficult year, and I could have never made a YouTube channel during that time, because it was just like I was emotional as all heck and just like didn't know what I was doing. No one does. But my 2nd year, I was like, okay, I feel like I get it a little bit better. I'm a little more emotionally stable, but still having a hard time enough to where, like, again, I'm okay showing that everything's not always rainbows and sunshine, as long as I can like help someone. So it's like, let's do that. It'll ignite things and make my teaching, my day more exciting and fun. And it gives me a creative outlet, which I'm not a creative person. So I definitely like love this and like needed it in my life more than I thought. And yeah, so mostly just make my life exciting, but to help people.
I bet that you have found that you are way more creative than you thought you were, because that Halloween costume video was pretty creative. You walked around with a Christmas tree on for a week.
I loved it. I went and met up with friends out afterwards. I wore it to my family's Christmas. They loved it. It was a hit. And my boyfriend's just like, oh my God. And
Who were some of the channels that you watched before, like when you were first thinking about this?
Well, definitely yours. And like, I watched your videos and I liked seeing like other teacher tubers who were just starting. I liked the fact that you were already in that little group. And so I could just finding your channel let me out into like a whole other realm of all the other teacher tubers and like seeing all of their different styles and stuff. So you, the early adventures, is that it?
Shelly.
Yeah. So yes. And it was her channel that actually like pushed me to like, you know what? Like I love her personality and she's just like totally herself. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I actually relate to that. And then for some reason, something just clicked of like, hey, you can do that too. And it was like, why not? You know? So I watched you guys's, I watched Too Cool for Middle School. And it was something diva. I don't remember her name.
A classroom diva.
No, I think so.
She stopped. She
Oh no, One Fab. Yeah, and then One Fab.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Tiffany May, Miss May.
Yes, Miss May.
Wow, those are all the best teacher tubers right there.
Yeah, and because they helped me from when I was just like, I feel like I am failing right now, and then I'd watch those and feel like get some like tips that I needed, or like I felt like I was talking to a teacher friend without like necessarily having that relationship or even knowing them yet.
Yeah. Do the other teachers know that you have a channel at your school?
Yes. Last year, I think I started it like April last year. And at first I only told my mentor and like my principal, of course. And I asked my mentor, like, what do you think? And she was like, I think that's a wonderful idea. And I was like, okay, but I didn't really tell anyone else. And then this year, my principal, she found my channel. Well, I told her I had a channel and she like looked it all up and stuff. And so during our like introductory like meetings with the whole district, she like had to introduce me as like a new teacher because I was new to that school. And she like said I had a teacher channel. I'm like, oh my God, like, okay.
So are you at a different school now than your first 2 years?
Yes, same district, but different school.
How's that going?
I love it. Absolutely love it. It's like at my old school, I had my mentor that I was really strong with and my principal, but that was kind of it. And I didn't quite feel like I could be my outgoing kind of goofy self. And with this school, it's just like everything just kind of clicked just right, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I feel like I'm free to be that outgoing person that I am. So.
Okay. So what are what has been the best thing about being on social media as a teacher?
I actually feel, so originally before being on social media as a teacher, you would fall into those categories of like getting kind of in like negative headspace and like comparing a lot. But with it just being in the teacher realm, it kind of closes off all that other like not the best things. And so it kind of forces you to be like in this little world, and the teacher world is just amazing. Like everyone is so kind to each other and you're just bouncing off ideas from one another and feeling free to like give your own opinions and things. And like, hey, you should try this. This really helped. Like I've had a couple people that I'm like, hey, I just love this resource that you use. And they're like, oh, let me email it to you. And I'm like, oh, like that is so awesome. It would take me forever to even attempt to make that, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just such a caring community. So to be a part of that and to be so easily like welcomed. Yeah. I feel like if any other niche you're trying to like fit in, people are originally like, no, like back up, like MySpace, you know? But with teaching, it's just like, welcome, come join, like
for
be
sure.
one of us, you know? Yeah. And so it's just super positive and like no worries with it, you know?
Okay. What advice do you have for somebody that is like thinking about doing what you're doing?
Like the whole YouTube, Instagram, whatnot?
Yeah.
Go for it. Like there's not, what what's going to go wrong? Like, tell yourself, like, what is, oh my gosh, worst case scenario, what's going to happen? Because there's no negative that comes from it. And you don't need to spend a lot of money to do it either. Like, I have my phone, a $10 like tripod with a little button thing, and I think like a $10 LED ring. Like, that's it.
Not me. I spend a lot of money on.
Okay, but were you already into like film and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And like videotaping. See, so you had other reasons for it, you know. For me, it was just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna love it or hate it or anything like that. So I was just like, I'm just gonna stick with this. Now that I'm kind of sticking with it more, I'm like, okay, I think I want like a nicer camera. I tried a Sony camera for a while, but it would overheat after like 5 minutes.
Oh.
So I'm like, this is not worth it.
You returned it?
It was my boyfriend's camera that he's had, so I'm like, take it back.
All right, guys. So this is Taylor Blair. Teach Me Something Good on Instagram and YouTube. She is the best teacher tuber that you may not have known about before. I know that I have done a video about you before, your channel, but this first time we've talked and you've gotten to meet her and talk to her, go to her channel. I will link it below. Hit subscribe. I will also link her Instagram account. So go right now, because you got over 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're jamming on there. She posts great stories every single day. So fantastic content. Go subscribe and follow today, guys. Today. Right now. Do it right now. Okay? All right. Taylor, thank you so much for coming on the Mr. N Show. I really appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I got so excited.
It was so fun. Like, we've been planning the whole, like, since before vacation, we were trying to figure out a time that would work for us. Finally got it done in 2020. It's going to be a big year for you, girl.
Thank you. I'm excited.
All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.